So I've wanted to talk about this for a while, and I guess now is the right time. Uh, I want to talk about transitioning, um, like with other people, as opposed to transitioning by yourself. So, um, more so, what I'm talking about is like romantic relationships. So transitioning while you're in a relationship versus transitioning um, when not in a relationship. Um, and I only personally have experience with like transitioning physically, um, or medically, I should say. Uh, I never went through, like, as I was coming out, I wasn't dating anybody or anything, so that really wasn't an issue, or it wasn't, an experience that I had. For me, um, a problem that I still kind of deal with, but I think I've gotten a lot better, and I think that's just because I'm a lot more comfortable with myself, and I know that um, any more like external changes, like bottom surgery, aren't happening for a while. Hysterectomy is in the works, hopefully next year, but like that's not going to change my physical appearance in any way, and therefore won't really affect a relationship. So, but I have trouble letting people into my transition and letting people be a part of it because it's very personal to me. It's my medical history, I guess, and um, it's hard for me to share that with other people because I don't really want to hear their opinions of it. So when I started testosterone, I was not in a relationship and I had no desire to be in a relationship, and I stayed away from that I told myself I wanted to wait at least a year until I was at least a year on T before I even got involved with anybody else. Um, because I realized that if I'm if my body is changing like that while I'm in a relationship, then it's not only going to be me going through those changes, but the person I'm with as well. And I didn't want to have to deal with that. I didn't want to have to, or I didn't want to invite somebody else into this very intimate part of my existence, I guess. Um, I wanted to enjoy all the changes that were happening and discover my body on my own without having to worry about if my partner likes the changes or doesn't like the changes or is noticing or not noticing the changes. Um, I didn't want to have to worry about all that because I wanted to experience it for myself and really focus on me and growing as a person, um, rather than worrying about what someone else is thinking about the process. So that was the way that I approached it. I've seen, a lot of people who, start testosterone and they're in a relationship, and it's a process that you go through together. I was not interested in that at all. Um, and then I told myself that I wasn't going to get into a relationship until after I had top surgery. That didn't happen. I made it all the way until about a month and a half or so, 2 months before surgery, and then I ended up getting in a relationship. Um, so that that happened, and I realized at that point that that was. Um, I realized it was more important to me to get in this relationship rather than push this person away and then regret it after top surgery. Because at the time I was very scared about it. I didn't want to have to deal with binding and stuff around another person. Um, and I didn't want to have to deal with all that because I've been through that before. Um, but then I realized that I would really, really hate myself for letting this girl go if I had top surgery and just and you know brushed her aside and didn't do anything about it, because she wouldn't have waited that long. It wasn't fair of me to make her wait until after top surgery, kind of thing, especially since she didn't even know at the time. But so for me at that point, it was important that I not keep to my predetermined rule that I had set for myself. Um, the problem, though, there is a flaw with the way that I was doing things, and that is that you feel kind of lonely, um, like specifically transition wise. I wasn't necessarily seeking out a relationship, but it was like, and it didn't feel right at the time for me to be in a relationship with anybody. I just didn't feel like it was the right time. But then there's also this feeling of like, um, nobody's really seeing what's going on. So I just kind of have to enjoy it for myself or with myself, um, which at some points felt lonely because, yeah, my family's around and they would like, they could see that I was changing, but they weren't necessarily like ecstatic about it or anything like that because they didn't see me at my worst and they didn't see me when I was so happy like that, um, as much as a significant other would have. Because I know, like, when you're in a relationship, that person sees way more than anybody else does of you. And if you don't have that, then, like, there's all these things that everybody else around you isn't seeing. And so it made me feel kind of lonely that I was going through all this by myself and there was no one to share it with. But my feelings of I don't want anybody else involved were stronger than those feelings. Um, but I will say that I'm extremely glad that um, I was in a relationship. I'm still in a relationship, but that I was in a relationship while going through top surgery, just because it was not only an exciting moment for me, but it was also an exciting moment for my girlfriend, and I was able to share that with her, and um, it just there was more to look forward to, I guess, after surgery because it was this relief of, yeah, I don't have to wear a binder again, but I don't have to wear a binder with her again. Um, and now I can be shirtless with her. And so it was like, it was both of us experiencing that together, and that I didn't feel lonely with that. Um, so that was kind of the thing that I've been struggling with for a year and a half or whatever, more than a year and a half, because I started T longer than that. But yeah, I really struggle with that, dealing with other people's emotions when it comes to my transition and transitioning with other people in my life. Um, and I know that everybody does it differently and everybody has different experiences. So if you want to let me know about yours, please leave a comment and let me know because I love to hear. Whoa, voice crack. But yeah, I think that there is an important balance. Um, and I went from, you know, an extreme aversion to being in a relationship because I really wanted to figure myself out and learn about my body as it was changing. And I figured that a year on T was a good place to put that goal of just being by myself for that amount of time to really learn how my body is changing into something different and how it works and everything so that when I got into a relationship, I, you know, knew more about myself and was able to um, not have it feel so, not have to necessarily discover all that with someone else, but that I already kind of went in with a knowledge of what my body is like. Um, and that was something that was very important to me. I hope that made sense. Yeah, so I think that's it. I'll probably revisit this topic at some point, but that is the basics of what I wanted to talk about. So thank you for watching. If you're not already subscribed, then please do. If you have any questions, comments, or video topics, leave them down below or message me. Video topics would be nice. Um, yeah, my top surgery, 2 months on post-op, is on Tuesday, I think. So a few days, I'll update you guys on that. Thanks for watching. See you.